So here's a really important point. And by the way, you're gonna have to stop me when you need to stop, because I'm good for.
I'm loving this. I'm loving this.
So I have had this thing, this problem, I would suggest, against the word balance. This war against the word balance, because I think it's just used so incorrectly. And I often look at definitions of words to think, is it just me and how I use the word, or is it the way the world's now using words? Which often they're so far removed from the definition that actually the definition ends up like having to change because of how it's being used. So obviously the phrase that comes to mind when everyone says balance is work-life balance, right? It's what everybody thinks of. And here's my problem. It's the same as saying like a balanced diet, right? More in your world. And I'm sure you probably hear and see this a lot. I'm not quite sure what area I'm listening now, but surely you'll come across this, where people are like, you know, okay, using a very extrapolated and you know, bonkers example, but I had a salad for lunch, therefore it's actually that bonkers, therefore I can have a KFC tonight. You know what I mean? Now, in theory, yeah, every so often you can do that. But if you're kidding yourself to say that you're saving the calories and that was a healthy meal, so that balances that, that's where I have the issue. Now bring that into the work-life situation, saying I did a 7-hour day in the office today, whatever that means for you, which then means I'm good to sit in front of the couch watching endless TikTok reels for 7 hours. That's a pretty balanced day. Well,
work 7 and work 7. Exactly. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, just because I put 7 and 7, no, not really. So then I went to like blend, which I quite like. So I thought of it as like, you know, if you were the sort of person that makes juices every morning, you don't, maybe some will do, but I don't think you normally would do this. You wouldn't go, well, I put 3.5 oranges yesterday. Today I'm do the exact same thing. You might change it up and go, actually, I fancy something a bit more with apple in today, or honey, or so each day you're kind of blending it differently based on what.
So intuitive, almost intuitive.
Yes, so I quite like that.
Yeah.
And then more recently, which I think is the pinnacle of where I'm at with this, is harmony. Because if you look into what a harmony is and what like a harmony means musically, it's like the culmination of multiple things forming a song, for example. So like those isolated things, like the drums, the bass, the piano, the vocals, the lyrics, everything, in isolation, they're okay. But in harmony together, they make something way greater. Yeah, that's greater than some of the parts. And that, I think, is how you should live your life, in harmony. Because then you don't look at things based on, well, I saw my wife for 2 days, so now I'm off for a week, it doesn't matter. You see what I mean? You don't think of things in this kind of bizarre, like weighing it up all the time.
Exactly. Otherwise it becomes transactional, and life is so far too unpredictable to become transactional. And what you said there, life is to be lived. Live in the moment. And if, you know, being so regimented is the definition of being in prison, by the way. That's the definition of being in prison, isn't it? Like, everything is literally
so interesting, man.
You know, so we are imprisoning ourselves by being so regimented. So